Live from PFG Television Center at Red 13 Studio. Welcome to Scorch's PFG TV. I am Lord Dougman W. Godspeed. Tonight, on another exciting episode, international dancing sensation Lacey Rain. Also an exclusive interview and performance by Yuletide Metal Super Show, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. You may recognize him from his many TV shows and commercials. Actor comedian Matty Blake. Lock up your daughters and hide your wives. It's Scorch's co-host, Sebastian. So let's make some noise for your host, Scorch! Yeah, baby.
What a show tonight, because as Shelley said, tonight we've got internationally known dancer Lacey Rain, which is amazing.
Oh my God. I'm so excited.
What you don't understand yet is you, Sibby, I've arranged it for you to be her pole. So she could dance, yeah. She's gonna, but the bad part is, that's the good part, but the bad part is she's gonna give me lessons. So I'm gonna be all over you too, just so you know.
I'll pass.
Plus, you know who else is on the show tonight? And this is the coolest thing. I've been friends with the band, and I hate to do name dropping, I've been friends with the band for a long time. And we hooked this up, and it's an exclusive for the show. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is going to be here tonight. So anyway, we have a lot of stuff going on. Let's get into it with the first segment that we call Weird News. And look inside, I have a tablet. Yeah. How about this story? Okay, did you ever get into a fight? You're married, of course. Chicks don't like me, so it ain't never gonna happen for me.
That's not what I heard.
Did you ever get, well, because I'm loaded, they like me. Did you ever, with liquor, not with money, did you ever have a fight, like a really good fight with your wife, yeah?
Honestly, no.
No, see, that's a good
I
thing.
avoid confrontation.
I respect that. Susan Sanford of Chicago, Illinois, got into trouble recently, threw carbolic acid on her boyfriend.
Oh, where?
On his face. Ready for this?
Ooh.
She threw carbolic acid because she didn't like the way he chewed with his mouth open.
Strict.
So she tells the judge, I just didn't like the noise he was making while he was chewing with his mouth open. And I'm thinking, yeah, the noise of a guy whose face is burning from carbolic acid. That's a little bit better than a guy chewing on food, right? So the dude has received multiple skin grafts.
Oh, God.
And she's received 7 years in the pen. So you know what I mean? Just incredible. And one more story for this round. Alfredo Morella. Okay, Alfredo
from
Morella.
Montana?
Remember the Montana story? That's beautiful, man. Watch some of the past episodes at scorchespfgtv.com. Okay, I'm gonna continue weird news in 1 second. Watch the way we do this again. You can watch all the past episodes at scorchespfgtv.com.
You know, you sit down, grab a drink, something to smoke, and you can really enjoy those shows.
Brand new Red 13 Media Studios, by the way. Alfredo Morella was busted for reckless driving, okay? And he told the police he was being chased by cats.
By who?
Cats. Not Stephen Katz, not some Jewish guy down the street at the deli. Cats. He was being chased by cats.
Pussycats.
So they gave him the sobriety test. He passed the sobriety test, so he wasn't drunk. They ended up having to put him in for observation, for psychological observation. And that's how the name originally came up, of Chicken Alfredo.
Ooh.
Thank you very much. Anyway, that's our installment of Weird News for today.
You know me, I always like a good pussy.
Yeah, I know you do. You know, I used to do a game when I worked at another radio station. By the way, I don't want to mention that one.
What time are you on?
I work at Rock 101, rock101fm.com. It's probably right here in the bottom of your screen, 2 to 7 in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, 2 to 7, right.
On iHeartRadio as well. Anyway, so yeah, we coming up. You're a jerk off. On the way, we're going to talk to Lacey Rain and talk to
Lacey.
But right now, it's our very first sponsor break live on Scorch's PFG TV. We're coming right back. For the very first time live on Scorch's PFG TV, we're going to be graced on the stage, and I told Sibby that she was going to use him as her pole to teach me how to dance.
So get ready?
You know, well, I'm going to be the one grinding on you, not her. She's going to teach me how to dance on you, the pole. She's an internationally known dancer, and she's been a friend for a long time. And she supports my Paws for the Cause for Animals, which is coming soon.
Yeah. Applause for the cause, y'all.
Give it up for Lacey Ray, my friends. Lacey Ray. One of them, baby. Give me hugs. Hey, Ma, if you're watching, Ma, it's a girl. It's a girl. My mother's like, hey, he'll have a heart attack already. He hasn't been hugged by a girl like that in years.
Good to see him.
Anyway, man, no, hug him again for a second, would you please?
Oh, for the poll?
No, just hug him again. Nobody caught that, right? Anyway, have a seat, Lacey. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I called Lacey the other day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And I hear, hello? Right? I'm like, wow, what a life you have. I'm on the beach in South Carolina. I'm just waking up, man. Sorry, honey. I'll be at the show, though. I promise you, you know.
I don't even remember that conversation.
What a surprise, you know what I mean? You won't remember this appearance on the show either, probably.
Maybe not.
Well, tell us about you as a dancer, and I've said it many times. Sibby, what's the matter? You afraid of girls?
It's okay, come
Holy
here.
smokes, I've never seen Sibby so far away from a chick my whole entire life.
Look at me.
I didn't know. You just don't trust yourself. That's what it is. Put away, if you would, for the PFG TV audience, the stigma that not every adult type dancer is a sleazebag easy chick. You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean? No, not every dancer, and I hate the fact that people think that. I mean, obviously there are some that, you know, make it look bad for everybody else. But you know what? Tell people that, like, you live a relatively normal life, right?
I live a very, I guess my home life is very traditional. I have very traditional values. I don't do drugs.
What's that? Before you go any further?
Yes.
Do you have, like, naked pictures of yourself all up over your house? No. Oh, okay, because I was gonna say that's not normal, just so you know.
No, those are in the men's bathrooms.
Okay. Yeah, that's still not normal, but that's okay.
No.
I gotta come to your house and go take a pee, that's all. That's all that means, you know. Anyway, go ahead. So yeah, you don't do drugs, which is, I think, very cool, you know.
No, and you know,
but yet we still have you on the show, so that's good. You know what I mean?
You gotta get a little bit of everybody in.
You know.
No, you know what, and it is really disappointing because, you know, you'll have a club full, let's just say, of 20 girls, and, you know, 18 of them will have their head on right, and it's the two crackpots that the people want to talk about.
By the way, 1, 2. You got numbers, right?
I tell people that I meet more messed up people at Dunkin' Donuts every morning getting my coffee than I do with people that I work with.
No, you mean Krispy Kreme. We're trying to get Dunkin' Donuts as a
Oh,
sponsor.
I'm sorry. Krispy Kreme. Yes,
So you
honeydew.
Tim Hortons up in Canada. That's what we mean. We don't mean any local donut shops that could be potential money. Lacey, you're loaded. This show's broke. Don't be talking about that crap. Okay? So, what is it? I mean, honestly, what's it like to be a normal person and have creepy guys like me and Sibby just like, you know what I mean? Because it's got to happen, you know what I mean?
Flattering, sometimes terrifying.
Yeah. Jimmy Dunn is in the green room right now, and he's ready to jump out the windows. He's like, I'm coming over there now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so he's okay with you. Good.
Did he get the tissues he was looking for?
So it's got to be weird, though, right?
It is. I mean, you know, at the same time, though, when it goes away, that means I'm done.
Well, sure. No, you got to agree with that, you know what I mean? You're in the business, we're all in the business. If you kind of want to shut it off every once in a while, but then if you shut it off, there's always the potential of it not being turned back on.
Right. I mean, you know, at the same time, I have flaming red hair, so people even who don't know me or even know necessarily what I look like, I go to the grocery store and, you know, aisle 10 can see me from aisle 1.
Yep.
And, you know, that's kind of upsetting sometimes, but, you know, you do what you can.
The people that know you, that know what you do, the people like think automatically like, have these misconceptions about what you do.
Everyone.
See? Yeah.
Everyone, everywhere.
What's a common misconception for a dancer?
That we give extras. Yeah.
Where?
Sibby's like, name
Where?
some clubs. Oh, Gil, quiet down over there. You'll never come back again.
It very much is not, in my opinion, a sexual thing. I don't look at nudity as
Yeah, me
necessarily a
Yeah,
sexual
no.
thing. It's very organic and it's natural and
Well, you
it's
know what?
kind of
Let's-
defiant.
Let's grow a garden.
Okay, naked?
Let's be organic. we got the blur screen, right? We can do that.
A
Everybody in the
naked
audience is like,
garden?
yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's not like you're just doing. It's a job to you, in other words, pretty much.
It is, but it's a performance. It really is kind of my middle finger to puritanical doctrine. And I love that. I love to upset, I love to stir the pot, and I love to do what I'm going to do.
Go for it, Sibby. Sibby likes to smoke the pot. So you guys, that's why you guys are close. That's good. You know. Oh yeah, no. I didn't mean that. If anybody's watching from the
Yeah, if the
DEA
state
or
police
anything
are
like that,
outside, hey.
just so you know, I'm only
No,
joking.
no.
I endorse it. Sibby has nothing to do with it. Okay, it should be legal though, don't you think?
Marijuana?
Yeah.
Yes.
Without any question about it. Legalize it. Legalize it. Tax it. Make your money off it like you do everything else on God's green earth. You know what I mean? You pay $150 for a tank of gas. Then you got to pay 30 cents to go one exit on the pike. All good. Do what you got to do, but legalize it and leave me the hell alone. Will you please? You know what I mean? Lacey doesn't smoke, and Lacey says legalize it. Sibby zips his lip, but
He says legalize it.
you know, Gil's never touched the stuff, but
Never.
but that's okay. Now tell us about where are some of the smallest local towns that have had strip clubs that you've danced at?
Oh my goodness, a lot.
So there are like some really,
What, they're horny guys everywhere?
you can imagine that, right?
Wow.
I've been to Paducah, Kentucky, Metropolis, Illinois, Three Forks, Montana, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Do you have fans that come back and see you at all these places? Yeah.
Oh, no, they don't want to see her when the show's over.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, but do they come back? Yeah?
Surprisingly, I have a very huge female fan following, and I think
Wow.
that is because my shows are geared more towards women. They're more circus style, they're more fun.
So is this show.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, Sibby's like, yeah. And it's so, wow. But women, now that's a whole other thing. Women, and I started off, believe it or not, way back when, I DJ'd at I DJ'd at Alex's in Stoughton, Massachusetts. Right. Okay? Way back when, I mean, seriously, I'm talking 1984.
I wasn't born yet.
Oh, whatever, Lacey. You know, I can get Gil in here to do an interview just as quickly as you. I'll tell you what I can do. I will talk about some of the things you told me not to talk about now.
Bring it.
Bring it, right? And now, but
84, they didn't even shave back then.
I love it, man. God bless you, you know.
Oh my God.
And I had to give Lacey, she shaved this afternoon just before she came here, so it's good. You know?
Nair or something. Yeah, Nair.
But tell us more about some of the weirdest experiences you've had on the stage.
Oh, I don't even know where to start.
Anybody ever attack the stage and try to come get you? Anybody ever go?
A couple times, but
Really?
it's not because of who I am. I think they would have done it for anybody.
Anybody? As you look around, was it anybody in this room that did that by
I
any
don't know,
chance?
some of those look familiar.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Actually, you know what? When I was in Brownsville, Texas, which is kind of a scary place.
I know where that is. All the way south. All
Yeah,
the way
it's a
as far
half
as
mile
you
from
can
the
go.
Mexican
Yep.
border.
Yeah.
It's a little frightening. I had a 65-year-old
Here, baby.
man.
You talking? Concentrate on the camera. I'll play with your hair for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'll help.
That's not
tag team?
distracting at all.
Is this a tag team?
Anyway, tell us about Brownsville. Pull it.
Pull it.
Okay, now I'm going to say the same thing to you. Okay, tell us about Brownsville. Sibby's all into it. We got a big X across the screen right now. By the way, Playboy, if you'd like to advertise, Scorch is PFG. Tell us about Brownsville, Texas, will you?
Oh my God.
We're all waiting.
My shows are very crowd, participated, and I had a 65-year-old man who was all kinds of excited about being there, and he had a fedora, and I took his fedora.
I know, Sibby's like,
was
I'm
you.
65 and it's me.
And I put it at the top of the pole, and I jokingly gestured for him to go get it.
Oh, and he did.
he came up on stage, this old man, and took his pants off and climbed the pole. Now, the part that's scary about this is that he knew he had to take his pants off to climb the pole because you can't climb it with fabric. Oh. Yeah, and he went up there and he got it in his tighty whities.
Oh yeah, a 65-year-old guy in tighty whities. Yeah, that's on your website, right?
I think it is actually.
Is it really? Yeah.
There's video of it somewhere.
How is that? Because you have your own website, right? What's your website?
LaceyRain.com.
Okay, that's easy enough. How has that helped you and or hurt you since it's actually becoming like, basically websites are bigger than most of the medias now. You know what I mean?
It's very helpful because my tour schedule is posted, and all of my Twitter and my Facebook stuff gets directed.
You got your Twitter? Oh, that's that newfangled communication thing.
I know.
Oh,
it took me so long to figure it out.
When I was a kid, Twitter didn't mean that.
Oh, you tweet in the middle of your
Twitter?
show?
I'm tweeting right now.
You are?
We can't even get up because me and Sibby are tweeting too.
That's good. We'll just stay seated for a little bit.
But so people in Paducah, Kentucky can know I got 2 weeks before I got to go to the store and get another couple of rolls of paper towels. Lacey Rain's coming to town.
Yeah.
Hey, Lacey, you know what? I would love for you to come on. We're going to arrange to have a poll here.
I can bring one.
I would love for you to come back with a pole and teach me and Sibby and maybe even Shelby how to pole dance. Can you do that?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. We get Shelby involved.
I have a stage and everything.
So we're gonna have that. That's coming up in a few weeks. Lacey Rain, LaceyRain.com. Give me hugs. Love you, baby. Yeah. Give it up for Lacey Rain. Now, Rachel. Coming back, we have 4 with Trans-Siberian Orchestra on Scorch's PFG TV. Let's do a pop roll. We'll do it. Right now, we've got super mega actor, and we love him, man. What a great guy. We've known each other for years. And
yeah.
Things are blowing up for this man. It's Matty Blake.
Yeah, Matty Blake. I got a vamp. Can I get a vamp? Come on, look at some music. Good to see you, man. Good to see you again. Thanks for having me, brother.
Thank you for coming in, man.
All right.
That's the way. Matty's like, don't I get a tune? They give you one note.
That's how pathetic my career is. I have to ask my own vamp.
And you're on this show on top of it.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus, it's rough here. It's rough,
It sure is.
So what's happening, man? What's going on?
Well, I'm glad you opened the show with that little tribute to this man because, Sibby, you and I go way
back, man.
I used to open for Lenny at the charity golf tournaments.
Yeah, what, 30 years ago? At least 30 years ago.
I was 7 years old.
Yeah. I used to come over and have to clean the vavooza out of his face.
Yeah. And you still gave me drugs.
We established 3 shows ago that's just a rumor.
That's true.
Give me, got that $50.
I know, right? Exactly. Got that 50.
It's been a long time.
No one heard that, did they?
Oh, okay. But it's you're always so kind to me. It's great to be sitting next to a legend, man.
Oh, come on. Where you?
Yeah, no,
Come on.
But you know what? We can say the same thing to you because, you've done some good crap for yourself, man. Come on. I first knew you from radio stuff, but you developed from your radio stuff, and then you've been on a couple of small TV shows. Some of them, you've been next to Tina Fey, which I just want to sniff your armpits because of I mean, seriously, man. I told her last time we spoke, there's just something about her. And in the TV commercials with that little Cinderella bouffant little dress. I could so fill that with more than just her.
I'm sure you could.
So tell us about the TV stuff you've done and how did it all start?
Well, I started the whole thing through stand-up comedy. As you know, Lenny Clark.
Years ago.
I opened.
Oh, yeah. Come on. What he's doing is Lenny. We love Lenny.
I opened for Lenny, where he saw me at a show, and he's like, "You're funny. I want you to open for me." So next thing you know, I'm opening for Lenny. He introduced me to his brother, who was one of the big bookers in Boston, and I kind of rose my way up. But then about 5 or 6 years in, I kind of realized that I was less like guys like Jimmy Dunn, who you've had on the show before. I was less really into the stand-up as I was performing. And I really wanted to act, and I started doing sketch and improv, and then I got signed. I made the finals of this thing called the Comedy Central Laugh Riots, which was in New York City.
Wow.
And I got signed by a major agency, Don Buchwald and Associates, who also represents Howard Stern. So I've been with
Everybody's
Buchwald
a name drop.
I was going to just say.
Gil's dropping names.
Please, don't get Gil going, will you?
I know, right?
Oh, please.
So, and then suddenly, after a few years, I was a working actor, making my living only acting.
Isn't that something, huh?
I thought you were either, Tom Cruise or a waiter. You know what I mean?
But there is a middle point.
Yeah, I make a decent living through voiceovers, commercials. I've done over 50 national network commercials.
A new one. Just did a recent one, huh?
Yeah, I've got one running right now, the Volkswagen.
Everybody's talking about that.
Yeah.
We all watched it. Shelly said it to me.
You saw me?
I said it to a couple of people last week. I'm like, hey, man, I think that's the guy that's on the show next week.
Yeah, that's me. I'm in the back seat. A couple is celebrating their post. What a wonderful, beautiful night. And then it's revealed. Oh my God. That's me, yeah. I've got a lot of those. I got 50 of those. You'll be like, that was you? People think they went to high school with me. It's crazy.
It must be though, but it's a great crazy, isn't it? Are you enjoying every step of the way, or do you have hassles like you don't really dig about
look,
something?
I mean, it's
a job.
It's a job. It's a grind. It's weird because the hard part is one day I'm on 2 days. I was on 30 Rock, for example, for 2 days. I shot 3 scenes in 2 days. I was with that cast and crew. You're with the A-listers. I was literally doing a table read, like you're Tina Fey, you're Alec Baldwin, and me. And
why am I always the chick in this thing?
You're prettier.
It's the hair.
It's my lower half. There's nothing there. It looks very feminine.
And then the next day I'm on the Metro North Railroad humping to do a voiceover audition. So it's you have to have a thick skin. You have to have a strong gut.
You know what? You really look fabulous. How many years have you been in the business, really, though?
I'm turning 41 in a week.
Right.
So I've been doing this. Thanks. I've been doing this from the time I picked up a microphone and started doing stand-up. It's been 20 years.
Right. Good for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, you look like you're 27 years old.
Thank you.
And the thing is, which is good, and it's the truth. You've had, as all of us have, even Sibby as Boston before he was in Boston, whatever. You've had struggles getting to this point, but you never gave up because deep down inside, There's a difference between fake confidence, just saying, oh, I can do that, knowing that somewhere inside, damn well you probably can't, and having the real feeling that, yeah, I can do this, and it's going to take me a while, but you never gave up, and that's a good thing.
I think, Lenny said to me a lot when I first started, he said, this business weeds out the ones who are going to quit. It weeds you out. Talent gets you in the door, but then it's about who keeps. Look, I did Boardwalk Empires. Anyone watch that show?
Oh, yeah.
Again, so I arrested, the first episode of season, whatever it was, 3, I arrested Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi read him his rights. And so I get this call, and they're like, you're holding all of April, all of May, all of June. You're a recurring character. They're going to write in this thing where he pays you off and the DA off, and I'm going to follow you home and all this stuff. And we're having celebration with my agent. We go out for dinner. The person from... They rewrote the whole storyline.
Oh, so that...
And it's gone. So, but you need to understand that that's, with all the great things that come with it, that's part of the business.
Well, let me
just keep
explain
moving forward, man.
That's why Boardwalk Empire, we don't like your show.
Well,
don't sponsor us.
Oh,
I could come back.
Wait a second, I might like it a little bit soon, though. Now, what are some of the commercials? So, because you mentioned the Volkswagen thing, and Gil, you freaked him out. So, what other things? No, but what other things could you tell people that are like, wow? Now that I think about it, that is you.
Yeah, I did a series for ESPN that was huge. A few years ago, they ran ubiquitously. It was like all over ESPN. I had longer hair, and I was trying to break into ESPN. Was the bit. And then I had one this summer that ran really heavy. I'm sure you all saw. A dad is playing ping pong. It was for Sprint.
Yeah.
And I spiked the ping pong ball at my daughter and say that's 3D gold, and that's me.
That was you. Wow. That's cool.
Actually,
There's a lot of those.
Actually, Maddie just got out of jail an hour ago to make it to the show. The girl, she's getting a glass eye, but it's all good. Now tell us, because I love as somebody that's been in the, and like I said, I have not gone nearly as far as you, but I can relate. What was that like, just to see it all happen? How'd your family take to it? You know what I mean? Like your mom and dad, how did they, that's my son. But it used to be, I wish you would get a real job.
Yeah, man.
And now all of a sudden it's like, that's my boy.
Well, you go to college and your dad busts his ass to help you do your life, and then you go, I want to be an actor, or I want to be a comedian, or I want to be a drummer, or I want to be a DJ. Dad's like, God damn it. But eventually, when they see you, they were always supportive, but there was also a lot of trepidation. You know, they wanted the best for their kid, and it's like, oh, an actor, God, he's in for a lifetime of
like an
waiting
actor
tables.
is
You know,
still going to be borrowing money from me.
yeah. And then you do well and you make a living, and I support my family, you know, and I have a house and like a normal life, and they're like, okay. And then when they see you on TV, they see you, that validates it. But, you know, you keep saying like, well, I'm not at your level, but I really believe this, and this makes me sound like a dick, but I don't know if I can say that.
No, that's okay.
But
Can you say penis?
No, that you can't say.
That you can't. Now we have to. That's better.
I know the words you can't say. Trust me, I get letters on them.
But I really think like these guys in the band and these guys working the show and you, we're all artists, you know, and to be an artist, you have to have that ability.
Money in the bank.
You better either have money in the bank or be willing to have whatever it is you do be enough for you. To be the art, the doing the show, making this show, doing whatever it is, that has to be enough for you, because it's in the stars how far you go. You never know.
No doubt about it. You know what? I want to talk more to Maddie in a few minutes. We'll talk about some more things you've done. Also, Maddie's actually got a family, like a real life, and I want to talk to you about something you said about how people have misconceptions about reality and what people think. So we're coming back with more with Maddie live on Scorch's PFG TV. It's Gil Correa. Welcome back to Scorch's PFG TV with Maddie Blake. You know, seriously, Maddie, I mean, what we were talking about before, you said something about, you know, you got a personal life, a private life, that people have these misconceptions. You go home, you tuck in your kids, and, you know, you like to kiss your wife goodnight, hopefully, if you're not fighting, you know, well, whatever, you know, whatever it is. But people have these misconceptions. What are some of the misconceptions people assume about you? You live in a palace, and
yeah, and the opposite too. Like what you said, I've seen it in when I meet maybe people who are my dad's age or that know my parents. They'll say, "Oh, you're an actor." Oh, and I can just see it across the face, like, "Oh, he's still paying for his son, probably," you know, or he's a bartender, or not. There's anything wrong with that. But it's like, no, I make a good living doing this. So that's one. The other is, it's surprisingly mundane even for the guys who are at the next level. They commute like us. They, I'll give you an example. Like I was watching okay, this is how fickle this business is. Old Navy has a new set of commercials, okay? Yeah. Now I work with a lot of the producers I work with are 20-somethings. And on these different shows and stuff, and so I've gotten to know some of them. And we were watching one of these Old Navy commercials, and it's got the cast of, whatever show, 90210, that 20 years ago was huge. And these guys are like doing Old Navy commercials, and by the way, lucky to be doing it.
Right.
And the 20-somethings I'm with are going, who are they? And I'm going, now, 15 years ago, they were the biggest stars on the planet. Yeah. These people.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So people go, oh my God, you're on a show, you made it. I'm like, no. Yeah. No, that's not necessarily true. Yeah. We're just people, and except for a very small percentage of the biggest stars you can name, we are working actors. Yeah. You gotta work.
You know what I mean? That's the same thing, from what I know of the music industry. In the music industry, bands like, we'll just say a newer band, like a 3 Days Grace, okay, a newer band like that. A great band, they're very successful, but you would think, they're selling out tours, you would think they're making, $1 million a week, hand over fist. By the time they get through paying their tour people, and the record company gets their share, and this gets that, and they get that. You know what? They're making, believe me, a better living, no offense to a fast food worker, they're making a better living than a fast food worker, but they're not making money like me and Sibby make. I mean,
Yeah, I saw a couple of those guys down at Rent-A-Center.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of that, very funny. I want to get into this, and you're into television, you may be able to explain this.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan is supposed to be 6'9".
Whoa.
How tall is, who's the guy that does the TV commercial? How tall is Troy Aikman supposed to be? Okay,
6'3".
Okay, now, in the commercials, right, Troy Aikman towers over Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Now, I worked with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
For VH1, I hosted 13 or 16 episodes of the show called Hogan knows
Hogan
best.
Knows
The
Best.
animation.
Very cool.
So
Yeah.
we did extra content. That was one of those surreal moments in my life, and you've had a million of these, I'm sure. And I go to the set, and we're doing extra content. So when you watch the show, Hulk would come on in the bumps, like going to commercial, and he'd go, "You want to know what really happened behind the scenes? Then check out VH1.com." You know. So I hosted that show. So I worked with the Hogans. I got to know them. But the first day, on the first morning, we went to their house. We filmed it at their house for half a season. And I went, and I'm standing there, and I feel this presence come up behind me. And if you're my age, Hulk, when you were 12, was the hugest star in the world. And I'm standing there, and he's like, "What's up, brother?" And I'm like, "Oh, good morning, Hulk Hogan. How are you?" In a bathrobe. Wow. So how did I get here? You know, I'm from Massachusetts. What the hell? Yeah, so it's very surreal. And then you know him like Brooke invited me to her because I got to know them.
Boudoir?
I would have gone. She invited me to her video premiere at VH1.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, a month later, I'm standing with all these VH1 execs, the Hogans and me, and Terry, as I was able to call him, Hulk Hogan. Terry is like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, Terry, how you doing, brother?" Like, "Yeah, I'm buddies with Hulk Hogan now."
Now they have they're actually, they're doing a shtick now where Brooke is getting involved and she's going to be turning on Hulk Hogan on TNA. She's going to be turning on him. I forgot I think it's Kurt Angle who's going to be, she's going to go align with Kurt Angle and turn on her dad.
Oh, man.
Which, you know, it's after what's going on with Linda. And then so what do you think of the whole I think the whole thing was staged with the sex scandal, the whole sex video thing.
Well, I don't know if it was staged by Hulk because he seemed pretty, I saw him on some interview, he seemed pretty legitimately devastated by it, but I think...
He's an actor.
That's true. Well, yeah, he's an entertainer.
He seemed devastated that Yokozuna beat him too, but you know that didn't bother him.
Yeah, I think certainly...
you know what I mean?
Good point. It's a good point. Touche. Well played.
Thanks,
well
man.
played. Well played. I just don't want to badmouth them on tape because...
Oh no, we're on video. We're not
video.
We're on hard drive. Don't worry about it, man. We're all good.
I can fiddle with it. Yeah.
So it's very cool though. Do you ever have gigs that you're like, ugh, I don't really want to do it, but I do?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. You know, a lot of what I do is very mundane. A lot of the voiceover auditions, although voiceover, if I have a day job, it's voiceover. You know, that's kind of I've been in my bread and butter for 10 years.
You live in Connecticut. Do you go into the city?
I go to the city every day, yeah. And I have several regular clients that I'm their voice of, so I have to update their stuff.
Is that a one-time payment, or you get paid every time you say
Depends.
Yeah.
If it's a commercial situation, it's a one-time payment or excuse me, you get residuals in commercial. If it's a promo, let's say, it's just for the session.
Okay.
So like I do a show called Stars Studios on the Stars channel. And it's a movie review clip show, and I'm the voice of that show. I've been the voice of that show for like 5 years. I just get, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I just get paid by the session. And then what you hope for and what can happen is you get a contract. After, you know, so they'll pay you by session, and then if it goes, and you're doing it for a while, they'll give you a contract, which is you just get a salary.
You know what's weird? Being in television, you understand what an applause track is, right?
Yeah.
You guys out there, swear to God, you guys just cheered the hell for like 2 seconds, and you all just stopped at the same exact time.
That's awesome.
That was the strangest.
Well done. We practiced.
That was the strangest thing I think I've ever heard in my life. I was like, yeah, somebody, shut up, no. You know, so that was interesting.
We rehearsed.
Now, what do you got coming? Do you have anything in the future that like, you can break for the show? You got anything you're working on?
Yeah, I did a movie called Wifed Out. Now, Wifed Out, I just found this out doing the film, is the new expression for the young people.
Yeah.
And it's like ball and chain. So, you know, like, Sibby would come with us, but he's all wifed out. So,
Honey, I didn't tell him to say that.
it's just all theoretical.
Of course.
So it's this weird, quirky comedy, kind of a Judd Apatow type thing by this kid, Jason Stein, who's this NYU film grad kid. He's real sharp. And it's about a guy who's in his 20s, he's getting married, and Screech is in it from Saved by the Bell.
Oh, yeah.
And
Dustin Diamond, you know what? For those that don't get it, Dustin Diamond is a hip son of a bitch these days.
He is.
He's okay,
they couldn't book him for a while. We got
okay,
Ron
man.
Artest is in the movie.
Whoa.
It's a weird cast, but I play a Mideastern tailor. I had to do an accent, a kind of crazy war-damaged Eastern European nondescript accent, you know, like kind of psycho, and it was a blast. And that comes out, I think, right after the holiday.
Matty, where do people see some of your stuff? Tell us some of your websites that you plug.
MattyBlake.com. Simple as that. MattyBlake.com. MattyBlake.com.
Love to have you come back on.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. Thank you all.
We're coming back.
Hi everybody, I'm Sibby Hashin, and tonight I'd like to present Sib's Vids. I get the opportunity and I'm honored and privileged to show a video that I've taken somewhere in this wonderful country of ours, supported by one of the songs that my old band Ernie and the Automatics just released. I want you to sit back, get your favorite drink, get a smoke, put your feet up, relax, and enjoy this week's vid.
Brings me to my knees.
This is an exclusive that they did just for the TV show. And it takes a lot of doing, but this is an exclusive interview. The first part, because we have 2 different interviews. These are the guys and the girls from Trans-Siberian Orchestra from Scorch's PFG TV. Check this out.
Oh my God.
It's Lucy, and his real name's Rob, but we call him Rod for today.
Rod.
Loving it.
We're backstage live at Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Another year of TSO, man. Good
you
for
believe
you
it,
guys.
man?
And you can tell I set Rod straight because he said, "Why don't you sit next to the hot chick?" And I said, "You know what? They'll know. Everybody that watches the TV show will know that it was a setup if all of a sudden I'm sitting with my arm around the hot chick." Tell us about the show, because you do part Christmas stuff and then like you do part show stuff. Tell us about that.
Well, this is the first of, for the last 13 years, we've been doing our show called Christmas Eve and Other Stories. And this is the first year we debuted it was our 3rd album in the trilogy, The Lost Christmas Eve. And we knew, our boss, Paul and Hill, knew we needed to change it up and give, the audience, we see almost 1 million people a year with both coasts, during this time. So we're really excited about this new album. I think it's going over really well. People are enjoying it. And, it's that mixture between a holiday story and a rock and roll concert. So it's really something for everybody.
The cool part about this album is Rob is singing on the album and singing in the show.
Well, there you
Really?
go.
And it's
nice,
really-
good for you. And that's all it takes. Wouldn't you agree? You see a TSO show, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, it's so funny because I've been with the band now since 2001. And, the first time people ask me, what band are you in? You're in the Transylvanian what?
Yeah, exactly.
And now I'm like, well, I'm in TSO. Oh, TSO! Awesome, So it's funny to watch the growth of it. But it is something that you got to see to you can't really
You have to
explain
see
it.
it.
Yeah.
You have to go and say, you got to see this. And then they go, oh my God, there's nothing like it out there.
Now, here's an interesting question. What buzz would you recommend to see a TSO show at its optimum? Would you recommend a beer buzz? Would you recommend like a Jack Daniels buzz? What kind of a buzz would, I never thought
Dude,
that.
a buzz off of Life, baby. Come on.
Life buzz.
The heavy metal buzz.
That's great.
Ooh.
Lucy playing Bach.
Whatever
buzz,
Lucy
right?
plays is good with anybody, you know that. Come on now. Now, so explain the show itself. It's lasers and pyro,
Right.
and I tell people you're an orchestra that is a rock orchestra as opposed to like a classical music orchestra, even though I would imagine you're all pretty much classically trained as well.
We're mixed. We're a good mix of rock and classical. And
She goes out with Moby and does that whole thing.
it's a good blend. A lot of people just rock out.
I'm just so excited to have you, and obviously things are going well. Can somebody get a shot of the man's shoes down here?
Those shoes are threatening.
Now here's the difference between.
There we go,
look
baby.
At that, huh? First of all, no wonder why the women like you. Look at that.
That's right.
And I thought I was doing
You know
good.
what they say?
Look at that.
Big shoes, big feet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
and what did they say about
I'm
my
saying.
dirty, beat up shoes equals radio and TV host?
I don't know, man. You look like you're doing all right.
Yeah, we do okay. So now, tell us more about what you guys are going to be doing tonight for the show, because we're going to have it on the TV show as well. So.
We offer all these people escape,
Yep.
in a terrible economy and when things are uncertain. And this story's pretty heavy. It's centered around my character, who's a father who loses his wife, and his son is handicapped, and because he's so angry, he goes off for 30 years. He's really rich and very successful, but the money's not everything, and that's kind of what happens around. The angel comes down like it did the last time, tells a new story, meets new folks, and at the end of it, there's redemption and some pretty ass-kicking rock and roll.
Well, I guess we're not going to have to show the show now, because we got the Cliff Notes version right there from my pal Rod. So, anyway, you know what? I know you guys are busy.
We're gonna hit it.
I would love for you, just if you do me one favor, and we'll talk about it afterwards because it's just something for the show. But his real name is Rob. We know him as Rod, and it's my pal Lucy, who for some reason, and we're live backstage. Coming up soon, you're actually going to see some of the show as we're live on Scorch's PFG TV. We're coming right right back. Okay, so we had some of the interviews behind the scenes, backstage with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and you don't even know. Right now, if you can see behind me right now, what you got there, that's just the basic starts of what is going to be the most intense, the most insane light show, laser show, and pyro show, plus music show you're ever going to see. And we're extremely proud to have him back live on Scorch's PFG TV. Trust me, the show is going to kick your ass. Get back into the interview. This is part 2 of the interview with the guys and the girls from Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Unbelievable.
Right here on Scorch's PFG TV. We're here with more backstage with Trans-Siberian Orchestra and Natalia and Chris. And I've seen you. It's been a year. It's hard to believe it's been a year because time is flying by.
It's crazy.
You know, but you're the young one. I remember that, right?
One of them.
Yeah.
3, yep.
Yeah. So you're growing into a fine young lady. Good for you.
Thank you.
And you're growing into a fine young man.
Thank you. It's been a long time, yeah. Many years.
How long have you been with the band now? We talked about
I've
this
been with the
before.
band since the very first day. And actually, I've been working with Paul for, dare I say, 27 years now.
Isn't that something, man?
Me and Paul and Neil have been working with him for a long time. So it's a great experience. I mean, to watch something like this develop from the very first day and see it happen and hear Paul say what, this is going to do this and this is going to do that, because it's like nobody really knew what to expect with TSO. Paul was the one who said, well, when we headline arenas, and we hadn't even played a show yet. We hadn't even released a record yet. He was just talking about the idea.
That's genius at work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
He
to
still
watch
kind
it
of
all,
talks like that.
to watch it all happen is amazing.
And so that's a whole other thing. It's got to be just for you a huge pride, for both of you actually, a huge pride thing. But you from the beginning to see it do just what you said,
well,
to
I'm
see
just
it.
proud to be a part of it. I mean, the musicians are so great, and Paul just keeps the production and the show at such a high level that there's sometimes when I go to the back of the arena with some of our little tricks and gags that I'll look at the stage and it's kind of surreal that that's what people are looking at. I'm going, wow, this is really cool.
And you know the thing about TSO, which is really nice, a lot of bands, they'll have a couple of stragglers with different age groups. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we'll just say, whatever, we'll just put Joe Rock Band. They'll have a few older people.
I have all of his records.
See, remember, so you still have them. I gave him Joe Rock Band's album as a present last year. But they'll have a few older people or a few younger people, and you know, some a generalization of a mid crowd that's the heart of their audience. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you can go up and down every demographic.
Exactly.
And
We always say
you've got a full
8 to
audience.
80 is the way we look at it.
Do you know? And there's no doubt about it. Now, what about for you, growing up with the show and growing up on the show? How's that turning into?
It's interesting because the TSO is a band that you can genuinely say has a history. It's been around for so long. I mean, from the beginning with Sabotage and then what has transformed into this big Christmas amazing Transformer show. It's crazy. But to be a part of something that so many people like Chris have been a part of for so long, and me coming in as kind of a newbie, a baby really in the show, and adding to that history is something that I'll always treasure because
Oh, that's nice. That is such a holiday thing. So now, do people, is it like a family to you? Did the guys in the band watch out and make sure that you don't get,
of course.
You know, guys groping at you and whatnot? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They
no,
babysit us, actually.
Yeah.
we make sure they eat well.
They're the
We make sure their
responsible
buses
ones.
are clean, and they make sure that nobody messes with us. And it's definitely a big family.
We're live backstage. It's Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's Chris and Natalia. We're on Scorch's PFG TV. Wait till you see the show. It's incredible.
Come on.